is tweeted out, so everybody can join in here. 1 second, please. All right. Awesome. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. Happy Monday. Market had a little bit of a case of the Mondays today. All right. So we'll take a look at that in a little bit today. And this week we're going to be talking about different types of topping patterns. So I figure, as we continue to test all-time highs and continue to push our way up, it's another good topic for us to kind of talk about. So we'll see how that goes going into this week. So today we're going to be talking about quadruple tops, the very rare but very interesting quadruple top. So good stuff there. Before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. All right. Awesome. Good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see where we left off in the market today, and then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening. And then we'll take a look at the topic, and then we'll go through questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, so SPX, monthly chart already turned back to green again. Red. It was green this morning, and then it clicked red again here today, down 20 points here after a push down at the end of the day. Weekly chart, still an inside week, trying to figure out what to do with this doji. Notice how we're basically still in that range this is the center of the doji yesterday, which is this huge indecision week last week. So we're going to see if this turns into a doji sandwich down or if we get a doji reversal up. But right now we're kind of in the middle of the range, so we'll see what happens there. So daily chart, well, we really would have liked to have seen some more impulsive action here, right? I mean, just so you can remember what impulsive action is like, right? We haven't seen it in a while, but impulsive. This is what we're talking about. Boom, 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 right? So we got that upside action, right? So even up to here, right? We had a little bit of impulsive action. We were kind of holding on the 80 band, a bunch of green days, worked our way up right here, and then we've had this kind of crazy, choppy yet volatile range with some very, very big range candles, right? And today was no exception. We had a shooting star candle today and ended up closing under the ADMA. So that makes it tough to be super duper bullish. However, as you recall from our series from last week, that we've been tracking the Elliott wave, but also what we found is a harmonic pattern here on the lower term time frames. Is we saw this nice retrace right here, right? We had a 618 retrace and then an 886 retrace right here, right? And then a nice move up, and which could project its way up to the 224. Right, so the 224, and the next one up is the 3.618 for a crab pattern. And what's really cool about this, right, is this was a 1-2, right? Now this could be a wave 3. This was impulsive action going into today, and it looks like we kind of just started to calm down here today. So it looks like a wave 4 pullback right now. And if you kind of zoom in on here, if you do a little zoomy on this one, right, we just pulled back to the 382. Now they closed right under it, but right about at the 382. So this would be appropriate, right, for tomorrow to see us get some more upside action and possibly finish up this bullish harmonic. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on going into tomorrow as well. Let's take a look at the futures and see if they're supporting that at all. So looks like we are up about 13 points here after hours. Of course, with the volatility these days, it's really tough to say, right? Because I mean, we were overnight, like we were all over the place, right? So I mean, red and then green and then up another 40 points and then back down again. Just wild overnight price action, right? So right now even though we're up 13 points right here, it does look like it's kind of curling back down. We're under the 80 MA. We had a nice push here after hours. Let's kind of pull up our geometric levels. This is one that we were tracking throughout the day today, right? You can see where we broke down below here, but we had a nice bounce off of that here into the end of the day. So we really want to see how this geometric level holds going into tonight and where we go from there. Okay. So good stuff. So let's take a look at the topic. So today we're going to be talking about topping patterns, and today we're going to be talking about the quadruple top. So again, guys, there's a lot of different patterns out there. We've done some series on the past on some different ones, right? So one of the a very common one obviously is your shooting star pattern, or kind of like your A pattern or your mountaintop pattern right here, right? Which kind of could be the the top of, for instance, like a head and shoulders, right? Or any other type of pattern. That's kind of a single pattern right here. Other times you can see like a double top, right? Could be good, and a triple top. Now, usually if a level is rejected the fourth time, we're pretty much getting ready to go down. So what I want to do is I just kind of want to zoom in here to the S&P futures today and just kind of show you what happened. This level up here this is one of our signal zones here today, and you can see we kind of had, if it might be easier to see if we go to the 1 minute chart. just so you can kind of see the turning points and how many thrusts we made at this level, right? I mean, really, it was I think the 5 is a little bit clearer, but really, I mean, it was like you had these two moves, right, initially, and I know this one looks like a tag right here, but it's just a quick tag. But here's like kind of a move where we actually turned in the market, right, like this. So we had this, we had a one top, right, off of a key level, and that's the important stuff about this. Now, granted, it forms a key level automatically when we continue to reject these, right? We had another turn right here, right? So a third top right here, and then finally the fourth top was it, right? And so that is a perfect example today of a quadruple top, and they really started to get things going to the downside after that. So once you can find a confirming candle after that, like this one right here, I like. Now, granted, there was a lot of candles here, right? A couple decent ones, right? This was looking like it was going, but we never broke down below it, right? This one finally got some good volume right here, right? So with increasing volume, you can see that right here for the low gap right there to increasing volume, and then we got the follow through once that candle broke down. This is a good candle where it didn't quite break down. This is a decent candle but low volume, right? And this is an okay candle right here, but a big lower shadow, right? This is in the middle, right? And this is your first one right here that didn't get any follow through either. So this was it, right? This was the candle right here. It gave a little bit of a push down right there, kind of tested again, right? Or kind of here, right, tested again, and then down, 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 down. She wrote, right, all the way down through this signals end and into the next one right here. So this is a very, very important pattern to look at. Once you see, if you hit a level, it hit like 3, 2, 3, 4 times. A lot of times that quadruple top can send things down, right? Because the triple top is a big one. But if you can't hold past that, right, the fourth is kind of your line in the sand, and then after that we look for breakouts, right? So that's basically that's what we're looking at right there. I don't. You can see here. You can see the one. If you go to the 1 hour time frame, you can see the one upper shadow, 2, 3, 4. There's your quadruple top right there, right? So really cool stuff. Again, these are very rare to see on the daily chart. It's more of an intraday type time frame. You can try to scan through some names that maybe have hit some levels after a while, like something like a J&J or something like that on the daily chart. I mean, occasionally you'll see a bunch of upper shadows at a level, right? So something kind of like 1, 2, 3, kind of like a triple topish type one right here. But the 4 in a row is pretty tough. This is pretty close right here. You kind of have this 1, 2, 3, 4 area, right? And then boom, right? And then it ended up working its way down. So a little bit trickier here to find on a daily chart. But intraday, if you see that, it can be very, very interesting. That was a big signal today for the down move. So good stuff. So that's this one. We'll talk about some more topping patterns this week. One of them that we've never talked about before, but I think you're going to like, but you're going to have to stay tuned until Thursday for that one. But anyway, guys, at this point now, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff. So Shirley's got a few on here. Again, a couple of these are on my radar too. GameStop, I thought actually looked pretty strong going into the close today. I mean, honestly, it was looking kind of interesting. I think there was some Cohen news on it today, right? And so possibly talking about doing a turnaround of the company itself. Now that could actually get things going, which is interesting. There's still an open gap here. We haven't quite filled that yet. It looks like so. This the low here was 212. Today's high was 210.87. So that gap hasn't been filled yet. Looks like we're kind of chopping after hours today, but it would be interesting to see if we get some follow through. I like the volume on the candle here today. I like how there's room here up to the daily cloud. So let's see if that can get some upside action here today. It might be interesting. So yeah, so it could be good there on GME. Let's see how it goes going into tomorrow. If it gaps up and starts going, right, it could be very interesting. So Disney is one of those examples of kind of that gap and go-ish type move today. This is big, right? I mean, Disney hit all-time highs today. I mean, and this came right from the bubble report this morning, guys. If everybody that's in our group and gets to the bubble report in the morning, if you guys saw me tweet it out earlier, this is great. This is on our gap list for no real reason except over the weekend and even Friday they talked about California opening up Disneyland on April 1st, right? So hopefully not an April Fool's joke, right? But we were talking about if we can get over these pre-market levels today, we might see some strength here in Disney today. We sure did, right? And ended up being pretty good. It looks okay. We'll see how it follows through into tomorrow. But really nice 15-hour breakout today. Members were able to ride the ADMA up today. Again, options aren't perfect on this name. It's really tricky on the options, especially with this kind of grindy price action. But it did work its way up nicely, right? And then once it broke the ADMA here on the 5-minute chart, you can't see it right here, but it broke the AMA here in the 5-minute chart here. It was takeout time, profit taking time, but good stuff there on Disney. So we'll see if we get any follow through on that one. So good find there. Let's see if we can Cree. Again, sometimes popular software type name right here. I like this one on the short side. I like the increased volume on this one. That looks pretty good, Shirley. I think I'm going to add that to the game plan tomorrow. It looks pretty good. Give me 1 second. Let me get that pulled up right here. Hold on. Yeah, so 1 second here. Yeah, so Cree, I really like that breakdown candle. And I like the increased volume that's coming off of it. So that's a real good find right there. So we'll add that to the short radar going into tomorrow. Great find on that one. So yeah, so any breakdown here, continued breakdown below these levels, we might see that 90 level here. There's a little bit of support in that area, potential support. So we'll see how that goes today. So good stuff. A couple other ones. Jay Blue again, guys. Really strange today with the really strange today with the airlines being strong today. It's like, what? I mean, like the whole market, Texas getting just obliterated. And here's JetBlue, right? It's kind of climbing its way up here today. So, looking pretty interesting there. We'll see if that. Let me take one more look at Cree actually. Yeah. So, we'll see if it takes we'll see how it goes here. And, with Jay Blue and see if we can get some more upside on that one. It looks a little bit extended for me, but already. But I do like the intraday. I like the geometric breakout that happened here, right? So we kind of had this pennant type formation, right? If you ignore that one lower shadow, right? We pushed through this, so it did give a momentum move. This was one of the stronger airline names today, so that was a good find on that. And then X. This one looks pretty strong too going into tomorrow. I like this one. I like how it broke out of the daily cloud. I like the increased volume. I'm hoping to see some upside action, some more upside action on this one going into tomorrow too. So great finds there, Shirley. I appreciate it. So Alex, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Mike, what's happening? Good to see you. Yeah, let's take a look at MP. So MP has been kind of a grinder here recently. This inside day is a little bit sketchy. It wasn't as strong as I would like to have seen it. I would like to have seen it close a little bit deeper here in this lower shadow. It has bounced, recently. Here's your breakout of the 50-day moving average. Here's a test. Another test, and we kind of bounced again off of it. See how that inside day holds if we get over the 80 MA off of that one. If it tries to work its way up, it's got some levels above here, but over the 80 MA generally looks like it could try to maybe perk up into earnings. So keep an eye on that one there too. But otherwise, watch the inside day levels and see if it breaks down below as well. It might want to retest the 50-day. So good stuff there. The Nest, wow. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, so wow with a nice push again. You caught this one the other day. Really, really great find, and a nice doji sandwich up there today. You got to love it. So very, very nice there. LFMD. Let's take a look at this one here. So LFMD still struggling right here. Still below the 80 MA inside day. Again, keep an eye on it, right? So again, what we can do is we can go here from the recent highs here and see how it handles, these levels here. And we kind of have an inside day by default. It's kind of breaking out over that. So just see if it breaks over that inside day high and if it wants to get going on LFMD. Walmart, again, interesting, right? So there was, I was kind of hoping that Walmart would start to get perky this week, but ended up kind of pushing down again off of the 80 MA. So it's still a little bit blah. We need to see some good candles on that one. But right now it's just kind of in no man's land. Right, VRTX, a nice push there with an upper shadow, makes it really tough to contend with. And OLED, it is holding the 80 MA, so that's good. And OLED could be interesting. Keep an eye on this one. If it can push over today's highs and get over the 80 MA, we might see a nice reversal pattern kind of going here. So keep an eye on that one. See if it breaks over these levels, and if it can push its way up here to some prior levels on here. This is an old gap and go level, old level. So and this is an old one here too. So in fact, I'm just going to clear these off. So good. So yeah, so see if we can get over the 80 MA there. Again, it's holding on to the 50-day, and if we get some strength off of that, good stuff there. And then AXNX. Let's take a look. AXNX, woof! Tough upper shadow on that one, so really tricky there. It's got some work to do, but again, it's generally been pretty strong. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it pull its way back to the cloud and then see if it gives us a reversal off of that, right, to get going. So definitely something to keep an eye on there too. So good. So Alex, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at Wix and see how it's going right here. Yeah, rough candle a couple days ago. This is a pretty good one with increased volume right here. We did see a doji on Friday and then it turned into a doji sandwich down here today. Just some rough intraday price action, a couple breakdowns out of the intraday cloud, stuff like that. Rejection of the 80 MA, and it's actually below the 50-day right here. So just kind of see how it holds. And again, it had a big breakout right here. It's coming back to these geometric lines, right, where it broke out. So see if it tests those and see if it holds kind of off the 200-day, and maybe it'll bounce off of that. So that's a possibility. It did give a quick move off of it recently. Okay, so good stuff there. And Javier, what's going on? Chewy, let's see if Chewy's got any more downside on it. I mean, it's got a rough candle today, but it's inside day so far. Not as much volume as I'd like to see. So we'll see how it goes right here. If it does, we might tag the 200-day, and then we'll see if we can maybe get a bounce back up to the cloud on that one. That could be pretty a good find on that one there too. So nice one, Javier. I appreciate it. Matthias, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, what happened to FedEx today? Let's take a look. So FedEx, woof, 180-degree reversal, right? So it's just struggling here to get above the cloud. And really what's going on here, right, is there's a lot of congestion in this area. So it tried to push with a hammer on Friday, again, albeit on low volume. And we had some increasing volume to the downside today, just kind of supporting the selling there. So it's kind of interesting, right? A lot of folks consider this kind of like a transport name. A lot of transports were strong today, but it just wasn't ready. So yeah, just kind of see how it holds and see how it holds these levels right here. Again, that 245 is kind of like a line in the sandish on FedEx. So good stuff there. What else? What else? What else? Bullish and bearish trades. What's going on? GM. Let's take a look and see how that's looking here. So GM gave us a nice flag breakout recently. Kind of came back again. Right now, it's kind of. I like the green candle. That's good. But a little bit of kind of a spinning topish right here. Let's just kind of see if we can get any strength. I'd really like to see it get back over these highs with some volume. That would be nice. Maybe you can get a good breakout going. Cat. Let's take a look. So Cat again could be interesting. Definitely want to keep it on the radar here. I would like to see some volume coming into it, but it is holding on to 80 minutes, still kind of hanging in there pretty good. MU, tough one here. Gave a sharp down move the other day, right? So off of this shooting star candle off the 80 MA, it's kind of retracing right now. So it's kind of a tricky retrace on this one. You know, one of the things we could do is just kind of see how far we've gone. We haven't quite tagged the 618 on that one, so just see how it holds from the highs to the lows and where we go from there. It's a tricky area. I mean, we are below the 80 MA, so a little bit of caution there. And then the SQQQ. So again, got a little bit perky there today. So we'll see how this goes here. If we can get out of its cloud and maybe work its way up to the 200-day moving average, which wouldn't support any bullish thesis on the market. But good stuff there. I appreciate it. Awesome. Anke, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're doing great. Ron, what's happening? Yeah, so we got Uber. Let's take a look. So Uber. Rough pullback here today, guys, off of the 50-day moving average and back to the cloud. Again, low volume. A lot of these down moves today were on lower volume, so it's just kind of like, just like some healthy selling, I guess. So whatever. But again, not a lot of breakout or true breakdown activity on this one. Fubo might be holding a key level right here. There's a big zone from way back yonder, right? This kind of area right here. So let's just see if this holds, and if Fubo is ready to reverse, let's give it a little bit of time here and see how that goes. And then Net, let's take a look. So Net had I thought it had a little news after hours or something, but anyway, it's been struggling for a while here. Today, not as much volume as Friday, but still a rough candle. I mean, it almost looks like it wants to just tag that 200-day before it makes a decision of where it's going next. So good stuff there. Chat, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, let's take a look at Neo. So Neo, again, same thing, right? We're seeing a lot of these. We were hoping that we saw a lot of hammer type candles on Friday. We were hoping to see some more bounces today. And instead, we just got kind of this soggy inside day on a lot of these names here today. And Neo is no exception, right? So it did give a quick bounce this morning, right? We were tracking this one at the open here today. We had a nice geometric line pre-market. We got a quick little bounce off of that here today, but no follow through on it. So it's just kind of like, okay, all right, great. Right? So inside day so far, so definitely keep an eye on those levels for Neo. Anki, yeah, so let's take a look. So you got snow on the radar, definitely. Nasty candle, again, still getting follow through off of that 80 MA, just not a lot of volume here today, so it's kind of tough. But if you're shorting it from the other day, great job. It's getting some follow through on it, which is nice. AFRM, let's take a look. So AFRM with an inside day here too, holding some key levels. It needs to hold right here, right? This is one that has been basically been stuck after its IPO, after breaking down out of this channel, and now let's just kind of see how it holds the 80. Maybe we can get back above it, right? So Amazon again, a little bit tricky here again, right? So we're Friday's candle was really close to the trend box lows, right? The recent lows on Amazon, which is way back yonder, right here, back in July. Right, so we're kind of back testing those levels right now. Upper shadow off the 80 MA, which isn't really too exciting for it, but we'll see how it goes going into tomorrow. Right, this has been a tricky week, and so it just kind of is what it is right now as the wave count materializes. UPST, pretty interesting on this one here. Again, another weak candle, but low volume. Earnings kind of coming up soon, so maybe that can get things going on it. And then Wish. Let's take a look here. Wish is up here after hours after earnings. So let's see how that goes here too. It did have increased volume to the downside here today, possibly because of earnings. And now we just have to see if we can gap over today's high. Right now it's kind of in the middle of its range. So a little bit of caution with that one too. So good stuff, right? Yeah, my pleasure, Ankit. I appreciate it. So Michael, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, Cisco was a nice one. That was on the nice call there. Because we talked about this one last night on the show. So good, yeah. So Cisco got some nice follow through from yesterday. Again, strong candle right at the open. Again, that gave us inspiration for to take this one. Why do we like this one? increased volume on Friday, relative strength, right? Holding the 80-day and the 50-day with increased volume. And then I wasn't super confident about swinging it over the weekend, but once we saw the strength come in this morning, that was really kind of the telltale sign. I mean, just a beautiful 15-minute candle right here, and nice follow through on that one. A little nasty after hours, but a great candle here today for a good trade. So good stuff there. Yeah, and great find about Cisco. Thanks for reminding me we talked about it last night. Yeah, so that's a good one there too. Great, good stuff. And Tracy, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Nice. Long time to see you. Let's take a look here. So you got Macy's. Yeah, this had a really great candle today. I passed on this one just because I couldn't get over the daily cloud right here. I did like the volume today. I was definitely tracking this one into the close. Looks like it's getting ready, but it got a little bit overheated today, in my opinion, and couldn't quite get out of the cloud right there. So let's look at it tomorrow. This could be one of those ones like Cisco to see if it's strong tomorrow at the open, right? To see if retail wants to be strong tomorrow too. So good stuff there. And then SM, let's take a look here. Yeah, rough pullback on SM here. Another energy name that starting to get a pullback. Bearish engulfing candle. Bearish engulfing. So definitely want to keep an eye on here. Again, bearish engulfing, high probability of follow through. But you got the 80 MA right here, so maybe I might get a little bit of follow through. But if it pushes below there with some volume, watch out on SM. So good stuff there. And then GME en fuego. I know it's amazing, right? So let's see. Let's keep an eye on it. Let's see if they can squeeze it up some more. I mean, just the fact that it's back to $200, right, is like I'm here. I'm just looking. I'm like, yeah, well, if it could break over this level, yeah, I mean, it's $200, right? So amazing stuff right there at GME. So good stuff. So Suyag, what's going on? Everybody's asking about Wish. Did I miss something after hours on it? Sorry. Oh yeah, just earnings after hours here. Just kind of open it up in yesterday's range to just kind of see how it goes on that one. It's kind of a cool name for such a strange company, Context Logic, and the name is Wish. Interesting. PLTR, let's take a look here. Yeah, PLTR is still struggling. Inside day, upper shadow off of the 8 EMA, right? So a little bit of caution off of that one. CVAC, upper shadow here, again, off of the 8 EMA on this one too. And BA, C Cummins, CMI. Doji, yeah, potential Doji sandwich up right here, so that could be interesting. Got some follow through from Friday off of the inside day, so that's okay. So see if it does a Doji sandwich up on that one. And BA, let's take a look at Boeing. Inside day here, still holding the 80 MA, but tricky. Again, leaning bearish on this name. I just want to see some downside bearish volume, so keep an eye on that one here going into the next couple days. It loves to gap up though, we know that. So good stuff there. Good, Alex. Yeah, and then ARC. Let's take a look. So everybody looking at ARC. Poor Kathy. Poor Kathy's on CNBC today, and it just was struggling there today. This is tough, right? So this is the pullback area right here. So hopefully she knows that maybe she's short her own ETF, right, and then doing okay. But watch that inside day there. See how it holds the 200 day. So maybe they'll start buying it off of that. So good stuff. Yeah, and then Michael. Yeah, BNGO. Right. This is a great one too. Yeah, nice push off of this one right here. I like the spinning top right here. Could be interesting. We got earnings coming up, so a little bit of caution with that one, but one to keep an eye on too. Yeah, so Oxy and the oil names, again, bearish engulfing candle today. That's actually looking pretty interesting. I would keep an eye on this one too and see if that works its way to downside. A lot of these energy names, oil names looking pretty rough. So let's keep that on the radar too. I'm going to put that on the bearish radar going tomorrow. It's a good find there as well. So good. So good stuff there, guys. Nice. And Estan, what's happening? Let's take a look at Zoom. Let's see how Zoom's doing right here. Zoom getting crushed. Down another 26 points here today. And the 310. That's good, right? Maybe we get this thing down to $50, so it's like tradable again. It'll look a little more reasonable. It's got a little bit of congestion in here that it might find some support at. It's already lost the 200-day moving average, so there's a little bit of a congestion zone right here. So it may find a little bit of support there. Otherwise, your next kind of area of interest is in here, right? So there's kind of this drop-based rally type move. Otherwise, after that, right, here's your kind of your next big zone down here. Is kind of a teeny one in here. It's a couple ones to look at to see how it holds these levels. But this is the next one here. You can try to bounce off of that one. Otherwise, you got these levels below. So a little bit of caution off of that too. It also had really great earnings last time. So I expect this thing to bounce eventually, right? So good stuff there. And then NVTA, Kathy's home. I love it. So good stuff. It's hanging in there. It's hanging in there. So you're saying there's a chance, right? So we've got a spinning top candle right here. There's a lot of congestion back in this area. Let's see if that holds the support and if this can get going today. Actually had increased volume today on an inside day. That could mean something. It's definitely something to keep on the radar. So it's a good find. Anytime I see increased volume on an inside day, there's some energy building, right? So definitely, so they're trying to push it. So let's see how it goes. So good stuff there. GA, what's going on? Good to see you, Alex. Yeah, do you use the VWAP and why? So good question. Definitely be sure to subscribe here on YouTube and check our YouTube videos. I've done like 4 or 5 videos on the VWAP. I do occasionally use it, and in fact, we've even interviewed Brian Shannon on our show here, where he introduced the AVWAP. So you definitely want to go through those and check out our channels. I think they're great. I think the VWAP can be really, really helpful. It can be a level of interest during the day. If you want, I can try to pull up that session here. Give me 1 second right here. Let me see if I can pull that up with Brian. That's a really great one here where we talk about the VWAP. Hold on, the AVWAP, the anchored view. Here we go. Yeah, so this is good right here. Copy link. So we got that. Here's the link to that show. So definitely check that one out too. It's a great conversation about the VWAP, you can learn a bunch about it. I like to use it intraday. I like to use the anchored VWAP. I kind of prefer it. But the VWAP is sometimes can give us good entries. We've done some other shows on it too. So, and it's also a level of interest throughout the day. So good stuff there. Steve, yeah, Square SQ. Let's take a look. So Square hanging in here with an inside day as well. Hanging in there, right? It's got to hold on. There's a little bit of support from here and here and here. Right, so let's see how that, like those levels hold right there on Square, and then maybe you can try to get a balance on this one. I mean, really, the market, the tech really just needs to get some flow, right? It's just been getting beat up, right? The tech tantrum is what they've been calling it, so it's kind of interesting stuff there too. So good stuff. Ron, yeah, DE. Let's take a look. Another infrastructure-ish type name, like Caterpillar. So just kind of hanging in there right now. Doji. Let's see what it does right here. It might be kind of working on a little bit of a corrective pattern, but we'll see how it goes. Javier, increase volume in NVIDIA because Kathy mentioned it. Exactly, I love it. But it's an inside day, right? So definitely something to keep on the radar. And speaking of keeping things on the radar, Michael, another good find right here with eyes. Wow, what a candle, what a move on this one the last couple of days. It was all about the open on this one because this pullback was nasty throughout the day, but a big push at the open right here and big follow through on this one from Friday's candle. Wow, why didn't this one come up on my radar? This one's a huge qualifier for a strong candle here on Friday with increasing volume. I love it. I don't know if these guys do options, but what a beautiful, beautiful move on that one. So good stuff there. So great, guys. Awesome. I really appreciate the requests and the questions. So thoughts on Riot and blockchain stocks, Javier? Let's take a look. So Riot, let's take a look. So really, I mean, before we get started with anything, let's take a look at Bitcoin and just see how that's looking right here. So Bitcoin just kind of chopping around here. This is the daily chart. We did talk about in the bubble report this morning there was a good chance we could test this 53,000 level. Looks like we pretty much tagged that here today. So good follow through there. We're still holding the ADMA here. The volume's been declining on this one as well. So again, this thing needs to start pushing again. I'm not saying it won't, right? Because it does look like, potential A, B, C type move right here. But watch out in case it does push down and want to test this geometric line. Okay, so if we get below the ADMA and we start to see some volume coming, this might be a level of interest. Same with the 50-day moving average. If not, right, it might start to just kind of grind its way up and look for grinding on those other names. So you got to be careful because the IV is really high on the those blockchain names. So good stuff there. Anyway, guys, really good stuff. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening for the chart requests and the questions. I hope everybody has an awesome evening. We will, if you guys are new here, definitely be sure to subscribe on YouTube because we do this every market night, but we also put out videos throughout the day for updates on the market. It's fun, do a lunchtime market update, and we also do our Good Morning Market Prep video, which we put out bright and early. We have an expanded video for our Bubble Report and Elite Access members who are part of our Discord. So be sure to check those out too. And anyway, guys, we'll see you bright and early, and I hope everybody has a wonderful evening, and until then, stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first, and stay safe so you can stay in the game. Oh, and be sure to hit the like button too. It goes a long way, even if you're watching the recording. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful one, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great night.